Welcome back to the United Pubcast. Manchester United 2, Wolves nil. I was almost about to say 1-0, but obviously Garnacho did get that late goal just as we were setting up the stream, thank God, to make it a little bit more comfortable during that injury time when I'm sure everyone had a little bit of nerves when Harry Maguire was coming on for Rafael Varane. But we did see the game out. We saw it out in style. Great to see Garnacho back with a goal. It is 2 a.m. on a Sunday morning, so Larry should be with us any second, so he'll jump in the stream and obviously give his thoughts as well. So get all your thoughts in for me to bounce off your ideas and opinions as well post-match, because a huge 3 points will go around the grounds and have a look at the other results. I think Chelsea stayed a draw, and I'm pretty sure Tottenham were losing at the end. So a big week for Manchester United. Could have gone 3 defeats in a row, which is almost unheard of at Old Trafford or for Manchester United. But to bounce back with an important win like that, absolutely massive. We'll get into the ins and outs of the performance, and was it good enough? Ultimately, for me, it was good enough because we got 3 points. We can have an honest debate in regards to moving forward and what players and sort of how they all performed. But winning is winning, and Manchester United and potentially new owners need Champions League football next season. So a huge win for Manchester United. Very happy. If you are happy with that, please do leave a like on the video. Matt, good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. They made a great win. Of course, any win's a great win, but especially in the situation where they definitely needed it. And Rob, good to see you, mate, as always. Would have been I could sense your heart attack in a group chat room. I could sense Rob's heart pounding throughout the match. Thought Fred had a decent cameo at the end. Yeah, came on, and I think he probably, unfortunately, just in regards to circumstance, found himself in that Harry Maguire negative substitution when it was happening, because I think, oh God, what's Fred coming on for here? But yeah, ultimately came on and did provide a good little bit of energy, which was needed at the end of the game. Harry Maguire defended well enough, so he got the job done. It is what it is. Okay, Rafael Varane comes back in to start against Lindelof next week against Bournemouth. I thought it was great to see Rafael Varane back. I think it wasn't like a vintage performance or anything, I don't think, but just solid enough, and I think gave a little bit of calmness and sort of sense of security at the back. So great to see Rafael Varane back. And Rob's gone early with the 3-2-1s, Bruno, Antony and Garnacho. Great to see Garnacho back with a goal, of course. I thought one of Antony's better games as well. And Bruno Fernandes, I thought was very good as well. I thought if Anthony Martial stayed on the pitch a little bit longer, I thought we would have looked at Anthony Martial's performance a little bit different. So I'll maybe touch on him in and around the 3-2-1s. Maybe I'm on my own. Maybe I'll need Larry to sort of come and defend him as well, fight my corner with him. But any other thoughts, talking points on the match, performances, or around the grounds, do let us know. Rob, thanks for the kit. Yeah, obviously a classic kit. Sort of reliving the treble as much as I can until maybe in a couple of weeks I'm unable to do so. So if you do have any shirts or any sort of memorabilia from 19, enjoy it while it lasts, because we might be sort of hiding away from that in a couple of weeks. But no, obviously a proud part of our history, and it will stay. So look, I'll start with the start of the match. Look, as I said, fingers crossed Larry does join us, so I can get his thoughts, especially Anthony Martial's performance, because I thought he was good. Now, I didn't sort of scroll through Twitter too much throughout the match. I have a feeling it was probably quite negative towards Anthony Martial, but I thought the performance as a whole was quite good. Like in regards to, okay, very frustrating in the final third in regards to execution and sort of decision making, which obviously could have made the game a little bit more comfortable. We could have had 2-3 goals. Fully understand that, and we do need to be better, both collectively and the individuals need to be better, no doubt. But I thought the performance to get to that final third was quite good. I thought we played out of the back quite well. Not to say David De Gea played like Edison or anything, but in terms of the back four and midfield linking up, I thought we progressed the ball quite well going forward and got in. And a lot of that, I think, was down to Anthony Martial in terms of the way he sort of drops into some pockets and it sort of makes himself available for Casemiro, Christian Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes, etc. So I thought the football was good. Ultimately just let down a little bit of execution and quality in that final third. But in terms of, as I said, okay, we sort of treat these players as robots, and okay, they're on so much money and they do have so much quality in their locker. We expect perfection from them. Thinking if you strip it all back and sort of remind yourselves, okay, these are human beings. The shot of confidence. They've lost their last 2 games sort of 1-0. They're absolutely struggling for confidence. They can feel the weight of the sort of the fan base sort of on top of their shoulders. And they think, I think it was very naive of us to go and think we were going to see a vintage performance of Manchester United hit 4 or 5 goals past Wolves. I think given the situation, it was always going to be very tough. So it was going to be sloppy at times. It was going to be a bit nervy at times, especially towards the end. Obviously, other teams playing. Still got Liverpool to play tomorrow. They wouldn't have known what the Tottenham result was happening around there. Obviously, they would have known the Newcastle result, so maybe that gave them a little bit of confidence. We can maybe touch on that at the end when we go through the other results. Get me your thoughts in on Newcastle dropping points, because that was good, but I also didn't like the point for Leeds, because I obviously want to see Leeds go down. So interesting around the grounds of the Premier League this weekend. But as I said, the performance today was good, especially in my opinion, given the context of our confidence not being too high. Now I'll get into individuals as we go, and sort of we'll wrap up with 3-2-1s. Rob here saying this game is all about the points, so I'm just critical. As I just judge every game is how we go against City in the final. Yeah, well, it's hard not to look at City in the final and think, okay, if we perform like that, what's it going to be? And I think we know what the answer would be. But look, I completely share that opinion and agree. It's 100% correct. Last time we played Manchester City, we weren't quite at it. I thought we were very good in the first half, but not as good as City. We won. Okay, City sometimes don't win games 4 or 5-0. Sometimes they win these games 2-0 as well. And that's not to say we should be going in full of confidence against Manchester City. Far from it. But it's a one-off game in a cup final. Now, yes, we do need to be a lot better. But I do share your feeling. I am watching that game and think, oh God, if that's Erling Haaland or if John Stones getting on the ball, how's our midfield reacting? It's a crazy sign of the times when we're talking about John Stones sort of dictating play in central midfield, but here we are. It's a funny old game, football. But in regards to individual performances, David De Gea, obviously 1 or 2 very sloppy passes at times, but I don't think disastrous or anything. I don't think negatively impacted our performance. David De Gea, I thought, was fine at the back. Good to see Lindelof and Varane. I don't think I could split their performance. I thought both very solid enough. Obviously, a clean sheet at home. We've got a very good defensive record by all reports. I haven't seen the stats, but I see a lot of numbers coming out in regards to suggesting we have a great defensive record at home. I think a lot of the goals we did concede in all the big wins we sort of conceded. We conceded against City, conceded against Arsenal, conceded against Liverpool, and that game at the start of the season against Brighton. And pretty much that's all the goals we've conceded at home. So another clean sheet for Wan-Bissaka. I thought had a pretty solid game. I'm not sure if I'd be throwing him in 3-2-1s, but Wan-Bissaka I thought had a very good game, both going forward and defensively. He's always going to give you a good performance defensively. But Wan-Bissaka solid as usual. Luke Shaw, it was good to see him back at left back. I think we sort of became a little bit comfortable and a little bit accustomed to him playing at centre back. And okay, he's now centre back. Well, no, really, he is a left back, and we need to see him. And I think that was maybe benefited in regards to our performance going forward. As I said, in the final third, didn't quite click in regards to execution, but getting the ball there, I thought we did quite well. And maybe a lot of that was not a lot, but maybe in part, a lot of that was down to maybe Luke Shaw at left back and sort of just that more natural sort of ball progression rather than Diogo Dalot, who I like at left back. I prefer at right back, but I don't mind him at left back. Maybe a little bit sort of cuts in inside and plays that role a little bit different, obviously a lot more inverted than what Luke Shaw does at times. What about that moment from Luke Shaw? I'll just bring it up because it's fresh in the memory. One of my pet hates in football, not so much football, one of my pet hates of Manchester United over the years is Luke Shaw or whoever, it's usually Luke Shaw, playing left back, going taking corners on right wing. I understand you can cover. Okay, if your left back goes over there, you can bring someone in to cover left wing for the left back for the next 30 seconds. I understand that's what's done. So we're not leaving a hole. But just in my mind, I don't like it. I don't like the left back going over there. It just leaves a huge gap in my opinion. But that one time he did, I think he played a short corner and the ball got cleared. He must have made, how far would that be from the corner flag to win our half? That must have been a 70-metre run at full pelt to get a sliding tackle back to put the ball out and clear the danger. I thought it was brilliant by Luke Shaw, and we've questioned his, I wouldn't say work rate, but not work rate, but probably his physical capability to do stuff like that. So I thought that was an absolutely brilliant moment from Luke Shaw. And you think, well, if he mistimes that tackle and Wolves get in, they score 1-1, it's a different game. So Luke Shaw, absolutely brilliant there. Antonio here, I think, Tom with that kid. Good to see you, mate. It is cracking kid. Thank you. Keep all the compliments coming. I do appreciate it. George as well. Wan-Bissaka played well. Yeah, completely agree. Going forward then, so back four, clean sheet, all performed well, both as a unit, and include David De Gea in there, both as a unit and individuals. Midfield three, Casemiro, I thought, had one of his, I wouldn't say better games because he has been brilliant for large parts of the season, so I wouldn't say it was as a vintage Casemiro performance, but I think as a defensive midfielder, I thought he broke up play really well. I thought sometimes he's getting sort of those toes in, one or two little slide tackles. I thought defensively, Casemiro was very good. Maybe that's why Lindelof and Varane had quite a comfortable game. All in all, I thought Casemiro defended quite well. On the ball was very good, but then sometimes you think, oh, a little bit sloppy. But you're going to get that at times. So Casemiro was very good. Christian Eriksen is what he is, very tidy. You'd say a solid 6.5 out of 10, nothing bad, nothing wrong. I thought he got through quite a good defensive sort of performance today. Obviously, the comparison the last couple of weeks, and probably rightly so in regards to the position they take up, is Paul Pogba, and we're saying, well, we better without Paul Pogba or we better with him? Who's the better player for Manchester United? And there's pros and cons. I would side on the side of Eriksen as things stand, but in terms of very similar in regards to the result of their defending. Now, Paul Pogba has the capability to do a lot more defending in terms of, okay, he has the legs to get back, but sometimes he chose not to get back, and that was through effort. Christian Eriksen doesn't have the legs to get back sometimes, but it's not through a lack of effort. Like, he is choosing to get back. He just doesn't really have that sort of in him physically. So they kind of had the same result of sort of being out of position, but one's through choice, one's through just he's unfortunately the physical traits he's been given. So Christian Eriksen, though, I thought defensively had quite a good performance today as well. Attacking is sort of what he gives you. Bruno Fernandes, I'll get everyone's thoughts of Bruno as well. I thought Bruno was very good. Obviously, in some of those games, in terms of you can have a good performance in his role, but the way he's scrutinised, he probably needed a goal or an assist to sort of mark that performance as a real good one. So maybe he was lacking in that aspect, and once or twice he could have done better. But once or twice he was obviously let down by other people, not in a bad way, but let down a little bit. The one that stands out fresh in my mind is the Garnacho one. Not to be critical of Garnacho, but just a little bit of immaturity on the ball. I thought it was a little bit better weight, and he took his time with it a little bit more, cut in and drew the defender away, then played it. I think the one springs to mind there involving Bruno Fernandes was in lockdown. I think it was Edison Cavani's first goal away at Goodison Park. Just delayed it, cut into the right to bring the defender across, then played the ball. I think Garnacho was a little bit sort of trigger happy with that pass, but obviously made amends with the goal. So Bruno Fernandes, I thought was very good. Actually, I can't remember the last goal, how the ball got there. He's saying Garnacho, maybe he did get the assist. Bruno was everywhere. Bruno ball for that last goal. Maybe did. I can't remember the goal. I remember the Garnacho goal. Don't remember how it got there. Maybe it was a Bruno assist, so it does cap off a brilliant performance. I'll have to go back and watch the highlights. I'm not sure what I was watching. Antonio as well. Was a very vintage Casemiro performance. He got a yellow. I'm starting to worry. What is his yellow card situation in and around the FA Cup final? I know he's not suspended for it, but if he gets a couple more in these last, what do we got? 3 games left. Is there any situation where yellow cards could see him miss out on a FA Cup final? Please confirm my fears or don't confirm my fears in the chat. I'm not sure what the situation is. I wasn't really listening to the commentary too much. I'm not sure if they did bring it up. But that is starting to potentially worry my mind, because I know if he gets a straight red, if he got a straight red against Bournemouth, he would. If he gets a straight red now, I think he'd miss the FA Cup final. So I'm start wrapping Casemiro up in cotton wool. Definitely need him. I'm trying not to jinx it. Apologies, everyone in the chat about that. I'll try and do better. But obviously into the front three. We're looking at Jadon Sancho. We join the debate in regards to what you thought of Jadon Sancho's performance. I thought he played quite well in regards to what he was offering the team, but again, just execution and just lacking something. I don't know what it is. Let me know in the chat what it is. Is it confidence? Is it physical? Is it ability? I'm not sure, but he just wasn't quite there. I thought he played quite well in regards to the positions he was taking up, the way he was linking up and sort of providing an option for players around him. And I thought that contributed to the good performance from the team. But just if Marcus Rashford's fit, Jadon Sancho's not doing enough to sort of nail that left-hand spot down. Marcus Rashford walks back in, and rightly so. So Jadon Sancho is one of those ones I thought a good sort of 6 out of 10, but in the position he's in, with Rashford sort of coming back, fingers crossed, coming back into fitness, Jadon Sancho is going to be relegated to the bench. And obviously he's now got Alejandro Garnacho, and I'm pretty sure even if you're a fan of Jadon Sancho, you'd have Garnacho ahead of him in the pecking order, even after a small cameo like that. You'd say Garnacho's done more in, what was he on, 20 minutes than Jadon Sancho has done since Garnacho's been out injured. And that's not to be critical or praiseworthy of Garnacho. I think that's just, unfortunately, a little bit of a fact. But obviously through the middle, then Anthony Martial, I thought, had a very good performance. Obviously got the goal, big goal. If Garnacho doesn't get that second goal, we're talking about a match-winning goal. I thought it was a very good goal. I thought it was a good performance. That is not to change my mind now and say, okay, Eric Ten Hag trusts him and Anthony Martial has a future at Manchester United. I still think individually, in regards to the situation around Martial, it is best to move him on for all parties. But in saying that, if we sell Weghorst or get rid of Weghorst and we don't get a striker over the line, we can't sell Martial as well. I think we have to look at the transfers and the incomings, and that will dictate Martial's future. I think individually, just if you're just, okay, case-by-case basis, Martial's future is away from Old Trafford. I think that is best. But if Manchester United's transfer window doesn't go to plan, whoever the owners are, I'll get to a comment in a little bit about the owners, well, that might dictate Anthony Martial's future and Eric Ten Hag's desire to keep him. But as things stand, if we do go get a Harry Kane and another striker, great goal, good goal by Anthony Martial, good performance. Has contributed well this season when he's been fit. Today doesn't change my mind in regards to the future. And I do like Anthony Martial. I know Larry loves Martial. I think you just take this goal and enjoy it for what it is. And Anthony, one of his better performances, in my opinion, this season. There was that run it would have been the first half, went around the outside, sort of around halfway, and took a guy on into the box. It was about a 60, 70-metre run. I think he did start to cut in on his left, and he tried to find a pass that wasn't quite on. Until if he found a way to put that ball in the corner, you would have been talking about one of the great Old Trafford goals in terms of visual. It was a brilliant run and showed a little bit of speed because Anthony, we think of this like quick, nippy winger. He's not the quickest. He isn't. And maybe it's not speed. Maybe it's a more power thing in regards to getting his body in the right position to go past players. I think he's quick off the mark, but that sort of long-distance speed, he maybe doesn't really have the legs. But he showed a turn of pace there, and he sort of bursted past the defender, so that was good to see. And obviously on the outside, once or twice took a touch to the right-hand side, and obviously the goal came from a right-footed pass as well. So I thought Anthony, he gives you what he gives you defensively. That's never in question. But attacking today, I thought was quite productive. Got the assist, and I thought a pretty solid performance. I think Eric Ten Hag would be sort of, I wouldn't say over the moon, but extremely pleased. I think if Eric Ten Hag was doing 3-2-1s, Anthony might be top of that list. Just one comment here before we get into 3-2-1s. And Rob's off to bed. Have a good sleep, mate. Obviously a lot easier with 3 points, but we will get into 3-2-1s after this comment. Joe, good to see you, mate. With the Glazers not selling any, too likely the summer budget will be small. Might be an unpopular opinion, but does Greenwood get straight into the first team? Very unpopular opinion. Greenwood, well, forget the opinions. I think the fact of the matter will be Mason Greenwood won't play for Manchester United again. I think the one or two rumours are starting to come out that his camp believes that will be the case, and he'll be notified of that officially in the coming weeks. So obviously, I think you do have to wait for new owners and that to come in. But yeah, I don't think Greenwood, and I don't think I've made my feelings clear. Whatever your feelings are towards Greenwood, I don't think it helps Manchester United. Guilty, innocent, whatever. Him being there is not going to help Manchester United. So do I want him there? No, I want players who are going to help Manchester United. We'll be having plenty of Greenwood debates in the near future. So if you aren't subscribed, hit that notification bell so you do join us whenever we do go live. And 3-2-1s, we'll bring them up here. Get them in the chat. I'm not sure. Rob put his in earlier in regards to 3-2-1s. Bruno Fernandes, I thought, yeah, very good. And as I said, I have to go back and watch the Garnacho goal. I forget the pass from Bruno Fernandes, but you've alluded to Bruno assisting that goal. So, okay, he got the assist, and I thought a very good performance. But in my opinion, I thought Anthony had a very good game, a very good game. And I always look maybe first, maybe it's the coach in me or the manager aspect. I always look at a defensive performance first. Maybe that's negative. Maybe that's the wrong thing to do. Maybe as a Manchester United fan, I should be looking at attacking football first. But me, I'm always about to keep it solid first. And I thought Anthony, the defensive cover and output he provides on that right-hand side, it's brilliant. Obviously, whoever has played at right back this season has done quite well, and Diogo Dalot or Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But I think a lot of it is down to that combination in regards to just that work rate and that extra sort of confidence they have that they're going to have someone in front of them sort of tracking back and doing that donkey work. So I thought Anthony was very good, but Bruno Fernandes hard to go past just in regards to quality he did bring in sort of linking up that play, because I did think we got the ball from the back four to that front three quite well, and that was obviously, and Christian Eriksen and Casemiro obviously played that role quite well as well, but I think Bruno Fernandes was that X factor in sort of breaking one or two lines. So I would be looking at Bruno Fernandes for 3 points, Anthony for 2 points, and then 1 point. Take your pick. I'm not sure. I would probably give it to Anthony Martial. Now, I did like Lindelof and Varane's performance. I just don't know who I'd split it with. I think if I gave it to Lindelof, it would be harsh on Varane. If I gave it to Varane, I'd be very harsh on Lindelof. So I would be looking at Anthony Martial, because as I said, without that Garnacho goal, we'll be looking at a winner by Anthony Martial, 1-0. And so I would be going Anthony Martial. I'm sure probably a lot of people do disagree with me, but I did think that football was quite good in that first half in terms of how he was linking up play. I thought he carried the ball well a few times as well. So I would be going 3-2-1s, Bruno, Anthony, and Anthony Martial. Fortunately, I don't have Larry with us to, well, he'd obviously give Anthony Martial points, of course, so there wouldn't be any disagreements there. But in the comments below, if you are watching on playback, do let me know yours, and I can have a chat to you and maybe change my mind. But yeah, okay, we'll lock it in. Bruno Fernandes, Anthony, and Anthony Martial for the 3-2-1s. It'll be interesting. I don't have the letter in front of me. Maybe bring it up. Well, it's only a couple of weeks to go. We'll keep it behind closed doors in terms of that order. I don't know if it's a surprise who's winning. I do know who was winning it. I don't know. It shouldn't be a surprise who's winning the 3-2-1s. If any guesses, put it in the chat. But if there is anything else to discuss, throw it in the chat before I do wrap up. As I said, it's 2:20 a.m. on a Sunday morning. So if you are with us and not in Australia, show us some love and some respect by putting a like on the video. That would be very much appreciated. But around the grounds, I'll just get the results. I obviously did watch the Newcastle game against Leeds. it's what you want from Premier League football. Drama. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it was just one of those crazy events where I assume he was a Leeds fan, got on the pitch and went up to Eddie Howe and pushed him. Like, okay, he'll get a lifetime ban, and rightly so, but what is the security doing? Apparently, he walked from quite a distance as well. He didn't just jump the fence behind the dugout to get that close to a manager and put your hands on the manager. Thank God nothing actually happened, but you can imagine the possibility of what could have happened. So, huge result for Leeds and Newcastle, whatever the way you look at it. Is it a good point or a negative point for both of them? But you got Leeds, Newcastle 2-2. As I said, it was probably the one game this season I wouldn't have minded Newcastle getting a win, because I am desperate to see Leeds go down. But ultimately, that draw does not just sort of create us a bit of a buffer from Liverpool behind us, but a bit more pressure on Newcastle. I believe if we bring up the table, that would actually have us, we go level with Newcastle now, don't we? Both on 66 points. Obviously, they've got a far superior goal difference. So we are looking quite good. We've got a 4-point gap on Liverpool. Liverpool play tomorrow, where Liverpool can obviously bring that back to 1 point. But I'm looking quite good in that top 4 race. And then in the games, all the games kicked off at the same time, didn't they? So just one quick look at the results around the grounds. Chelsea and Forest. Are you surprised Chelsea didn't beat Nottingham Forest at home? No, I'm surprised they took the lead at some stage. I did see they weren't 1-0 down, but then went 2-1 up. You surprised they blew that lead? No. Chelsea, if you think we're having troubles at Manchester United, it's a little bit frustrating. Just thank God you're not supporting Chelsea at the moment. When we were bad, you thought, okay, Nottingham Forest at home, okay, today's the day we turn it around. Today's the day, okay, I can see a win coming. Chelsea going into this game, I think everyone going, yeah, Forest should win this. Forest could win this. And it's a crazy one. Forest will feel hard done by, I think, in regards to going away to Chelsea. I think there's potentially 3 points which could sort of save their season. So interesting result there. Crystal Palace beating Bournemouth, no impact on us, and Southampton getting relegated. Southampton has been a fixture of the Premier League for a long time. I think they got relegated maybe around 2003, maybe. I think we wore the black kit Ronaldo's first season. I have a feeling we played them on the final day and Southampton went down then, and maybe they bounced straight back up. But Southampton are always just a fixture in my mind of the Premier League. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe they never got relegated, but I think around then they did. And but always a fixture and always a good club, Southampton. It's a shame for them. Well, I honestly couldn't give a shit about it, but you just think their fans obviously having a tough day today. We think we're having a tough day in regards to, okay, we're going to get Champions League football. They've got Championship football. So hard luck to Southampton. Fingers crossed for their fans, they can bounce back. Obviously, I don't think any Manchester United fans have any ill will to Southampton. Other than that, fingers crossed Leeds can go down. I'm not sure who else I want to go to. At the moment, for the laughs, I would like to see Everton go down. But then when the Premier League rolls around next season, I do think Everton's an important fixture in the Premier League, so I would kind of miss them. So I'm not sure who I do want to go down to accompany Leeds and Southampton. But I wouldn't mind seeing Jordan Pickford be relegated. I'm not happy with those Jordan Pickford to Manchester United rumours. Fingers crossed that is not the case. I do see him in a Tottenham shirt, most likely, though, if that is to be the case. But I do appreciate everyone joining us. Apologies, Larry. He must have fallen asleep. It is 2 a.m., so I'll cut him some slack, of course. It's 2 a.m. on a Sunday morning. But I do appreciate everyone's opinions and thoughts in the live chat to keep me going. As I said, there's a few in the chat, so please do leave a like on the video. They'll be very much appreciated. Definitely cheer us up. And look, hit that notification bell and subscribe, because who knows, I'm sure there'll be an Ineos and Qatar breaking story anytime soon. And when that does happen, there'll be a lot to discuss. So up the Reds, 3 points, huge points for Manchester United. 2 games or 1 game closer to Champions League football. And Erik ten Hag is completing a very good season, as all roads lead to Wembley in the FA Cup final. I think that's where all our focus is now. Well, Erik ten Hag's focus, obviously, to get to the Champions League football. But as fans, I think we've got Chelsea at home. That's 3 points. Obviously, touch wood. But Chelsea at home, Fulham at home, win those games. And fingers crossed Liverpool drop points in the meantime. We secure that top 4 and ruin City's treble. Our treble, City's potential treble. But until then, hope everyone has a good weekend, and we'll chat to you quick smart. Cheers.